Hi, Mr. Syahir. Welcome to our meeting for today. But we need to
Yes.
wait for one more person, which is Miss Aiman. She will be
All
here.
right.
We need to wait for some times. Miss Aiman, are you here? Miss Aiman? Um, okay.
Yes, I am here. I'm so sorry I'm late.
It's okay. Hi, Miss Aiman.
Hi.
Yeah.
Can you guys please introduce yourself to each other?
Uh, am I going to start
Yeah, you
first?
start first. It's okay.
Okay.
Yes,
Hi.
you do.
My name is Nura Aiman. You can call me Miss Aiman, and I am here as Kota Baru representative for working class. Yes.
Okay, so my name is Sir Syahir. You can call me Syahir, and I'm here as the owner of business management.
Hi, both of you. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. So, I will introduce myself. I am Miss Hilwa. I am the district officer of the Kota Baru district. So, I hope both of you are clear that we are here today to actually discuss about a pressing issue that's affecting many communities, including our district, which is Kota Baru. And I'm pretty sure that both of you has already been aware about the issue of the economic disparities between the upper class and the working class in Kota Baru, right? This issue is quite obvious as the average income gap between the working class and the upper class is quite high. So what are the gap in economic that I'm talking about is actually the gap in economic mobility, access to essential resources, and income inequality, which is something that we need to address in order to foster a more equitable society. So let us begin our discussion with the most important highlighted issue for today, which is the concern regarding economic mobility. So I hope you may start first, Miss Aiman.
Um, Thank you, Miss Hilwa. The issue of economic mobility is indeed critical, as you mentioned it just now. We see it in Kota Baru, especially among the younger generation. As we all know, access to quality education is essential. Yet, disparities in resources can hinder skill development. The local job market often lacks diverse opportunities, making it challenging for youth to secure stable employment. Additionally, the economy's reliance on traditional sectors like agriculture limits prospect for growth. I must say, young entrepreneurs face difficulties accessing funding, which stifles innovation and business creation. Building strong social networks and mentorship opportunities can enhance careers pathway, while supportive government policies can promote youth employment and skill development. Addressing this challenge is crucial for fostering economic mobility and creating a more equitable future for the youth in Kota Baru. Many talented young people from working class families are unable to advance due to systemic barriers. For instance, limited access to quality education and job training still um, limited access to quality education and job training means that even those with potential, the talented young people from working class, they still can reach their full capacity. Limited access to quality itself, quality education and job training significantly contributes to economic disparity for youth in Kota Baru. Without access to quality educational resources, young people miss out on essential knowledge and skill needed for higher paying jobs, leading to cycles of underemployment and low wage that hinder economic stability. Inadequate job training program further exacerbate this issue as eager job seekers often lack of specific skills. employers require, resulting in higher employment rates among youth. Additionally, the absence of career guidance and mentorship itself leave many unaware of ability pathway, while limited access to internship and vocational training restrict practical experience. These barriers are not only stifle individual potential but also contribute to broader community economic disparity as a less skilled workforce and impede overall growth and innovation. Addressing this challenge is crucial for empowering the younger generation and fostering a more equitable economy in Kota Baru. A student from a low-income family may excel academically but struggle to afford higher education. Even with scholarship, the gap the gap remains because wealthier students have access to networks and resources that open doors to elite universities and high-paying jobs. That's all for me.
Okay, Miss Aiman, I do appreciate the points that you have point out, but I think we need to take a more nuanced view of the situation. For example, we need to more focusing on solely on systematic barriers oversimplifies the issue. Today, many young people are finding new ways to succeed, even though they are not using the traditional advantage that have you mentioned before. We can ignore the fact that personal effort and also adaptability play a huge role in economic mobility. Yes, there are many challenges, but I believe we are underestimating the opportunities available, especially with the rise of the digital platforms, remote works, and also the gig economies. This new pathway has allowed young people to develop skills outside of formal education and also to build their careers in non-traditional or in non-traditional ways. In fact, there are many success stories come from those who leverage online learning, freelancing platforms, and also the use of social media to create their businesses without needing elite degrees or networks. However, focusing too much on what people lack can discourage personal initiative. There are many government programs, microfinancing initiative, and also economy-based efforts already in place to support young entrepreneurs and also to provide job training. Many students today are from working class background families do succeed. They are not because they are had the every advantage, but because they work hard and took the initiative. We need to be careful or not to be perpetuated and the narrative that those from disadvantaged backgrounds and are doomed to fail just because they lack certain resources. Self reliance and also creativity are critical traits, and those can be cultivated regardless of background. That's all
Okay,
from me.
Mr. Shahir. Okay, Mr. Shahir, sorry to interrupt you. I agree that there are new opportunities, as you mentioned it just now, but it's important to remember that not everyone has equal access to those resources. The digital divide is a significant barrier. Not all young people have access to the technology and internet needed to leverage this platform effectively. But many people have found success despite this challenge. It's about hard work and initiative. I can see your point of view, that's true. But while individual effort is inspiring, systemic inequalities can limit the choices available to many. We need to ensure that all young people have the resources and support they need to thrive rather than relying solely on personal initiative.
Or
That's all from me.
all right. Thank you, Miss Aiman and Mr. Shahir. This is quite a hot debate, I would say. It's not like a debate, but both of you are giving your own concerns in a good way. So I'm pretty
Yes.
sure that both of you are trying to find the right solutions to settle this economic problem for the benefits of both group, the working class people and also the upper class people. But however, there are a few other problems that can lead us to the broader issue of the disparities in our district economy, which is the obvious disparity in access to essential resources. As we all might see, the upper class usually has access to private schools, better healthcare and financial services, but the working class often relies on underfunded public schools and overcrowded hospitals. I could say that they have the limited financial services compared to um, the upper class, right? So
Yes.
these disparities directly affect the quality of the life of the working class, and I would say the long-term economic prospects for their future. For instance, private schools often offer smaller class sizes, better facilities, and advanced curriculums that prepare students for prestigious universities and high-paying jobs. But public school, there's none of that. The healthcare options available to the upper class are often state of the art, with shorter wait times, better specialists, and more comprehensive treatments options. And I would guarantee that none of the public healthcare center would actually offer those kind of services. However, we as the local government, we are trying to give our best for the people of this district. So on the other hand, the working class often relies on underfunded public school, right? Where class sizes are larger, resources are more limited, and extracurricular opportunities are very minimal, I would say. These schools often struggle to provide the same level of education, which ultimately affects students' chance and opportunities, and they need to struggle in order to have the same level of education with the private schools students, which ultimately affects students' chances of competing in the job market. Similarly, when it comes to healthcare, the working class is often dependent on overcrowded hospitals where the quality of care can be compromised due to underfunding and a lack of resources. And so, Miss Aiman, I actually would like to know more whether the working class people in Kota Baru actually face a serious problem in terms of access to essential resources. If so, the local government is trying to serve for a better infrastructure for the people of Kota Baru. And we also try to ask for more provisions from the state government and the local business like yours, Mr. Syahir.
Yes, and I agree. For uh, I agree from your point of view. I am glad that we are on the same page. And this disparity is very visible in our region. In Kota Baru, for example, we have many public schools with outdated facilities, larger class sizes, and fewer teachers. Outdated infrastructure can hinder safety and access to essential learning resources, while larger class size make it difficult for teachers to provide individualized attention, leading to disparities in student engagement and outcomes. Other than that, a shortage of teachers force school to increase class size further and can lead to teacher burnout, limiting the educational experience. These factors create a challenging environment that disproportionately affects students from disadvantaged background, underscoring the need for increased funding and resources to promote equity and improve educational outcomes. The children from the children from working class families who attend these schools are at a significant disadvantage compared to those attending private institutions. To be honest, the gap in healthcare is also concerning. Many families cannot afford private healthcare and are left to deal with overburdened public clinics and hospitals. These financial barriers force them to rely on overburdened public clinics and hospitals where resources are often stretched thin. As a result, as you mentioned it just now, patients may experience long wait times, limited availability of essential service, and decreased quality of care. This condition can lead to inadequate treatment and poor health outcomes, disproportionately affecting vulnerable population. Furthermore, the strain on public healthcare workers further di- diminishing, diminishing, I'm sorry, diminish, diminishing, I'm sorry, am I saying that right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, diminishing, I'm so sorry, this is my first time uh, being here. Where am I
Okay.
diminishing? Uh, wait, can can you guys wait for me for a for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Um, okay. As I said, furthermore, the strain on public healthcare system can result in increased pressure on healthcare workers, further diminishing the overall quality of care provided. Addressing this disparity is essential to ensure equitable access to healthcare for all families. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
Miss
so
Aiman.
Aiman, I understand the concern about the disparities, but I think we need to recognize that public services are not exclusively used by the working class, and also wealthier people benefit from them too. It is unfair to imply that only disadvantaged family relies on government-funded services like public education or healthcare. In reality, many middle and upper income families still choose public schools, not just for the affordability, but for the diverse learning environments and also to support their public education. Additionally, public healthcare is a critical service that people from all income levels depends on, especially for specialized treatments or emergencies. For example, we can take during the COVID-19 pandemic, that everyone, including the wealthy, relied on public healthcare for vaccines, testing, and also treatments. This system helps benefit society as a whole, not just those with limited financial, while wealthier families have the option of turning to private services. They also engage with public institutions when needed, and also this also shared reliance is essential for maintaining quality and accountability. The real issues is not just that public system are overburdened, but that we also need to more inclusive participation from all citizens to strengthen these institutions. If wealthier individuals if wealthier individuals disengage entirely from public services, it also can risk further underfunding and neglect. Instead, we should more focus on fostering a sense of shared responsibility where citizens across all income levels invest in and advocate for the improvement of public education and healthcare. This way, we can ensure that this institution remain robust and accessible for everyone, not just those with limited options. Okay, that's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Syahir and Miss Aiman. I really understand both of your concerns regarding the issue of disparity in essential resources. However, there are still existing other existing major issues that we need to address, and it is definitely as concerning as the issue of disparities to essential resources. But this issue, I would say, a little bit more concerning as it is affecting the economy of our district, especially in Kota Baru. It is the issue of income inequality, which is quite obvious among all the people in Kota Baru. The wage gap issue is indeed a major concern in our current economy right now. as income inequality is not only unfair, but it is also unsustainable for our economy. As wealth continues to concentrate at the top, the working class is left with stagnating wages and rising living costs. We, the government, we need to step in and implement policies that ensure fair wages and better job creation. This widening gap between the rich and the working class creates an imbalance that impacts everyone, not just those who are at the bottom, right, Mr. Shahir? I am pretty sure that this issue will extremely affect your business too, right? When the majority
Yes.
of people have limited purchasing power because their wages aren't keeping up with inflation and rising cost of livings, it will affect overall economic growth. And this will hinder the economic growth here in Kota Baru. Businesses, both small and large, depend on consumer spending in order to thrive. But if the working class, who make up a significant portion of the consumer base, doesn't have enough disposable income, demand for goods and services for local product will keep on declining. This, in turn, will slow down the economy activity in Kota Baru, leading to weaker job creation, fewer business opportunities, and even potential recessions. This will give so many negative impacts to our district. And that is why we, the local government, are trying our best to come up with a practical solution that could solve this serious issue for the economy of our district.
I agree. And to tackle economic mobility, we need to focus on education and job training programs. The government can introduce vocational training and apprentice. Am I saying it right? Apprenticeship.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Apprenticeship.
apprenticeship
Apprentice.
programs, particularly for young people who may not excel academically but possess practical skills. The government can significantly enhance economic opportunities by introducing vocational training and apprenticeship programs tailored for young people who may not thrive in various trades. I'm so sorry. Thrive in traditional academic settings but possess valuable practical skill. By providing hands-on training in the various trades such as carpentry, plumbing, and information technology, this program can equip young individuals with the necessary expertise to enter the workforce confidently. Furthermore, partnership with local businesses can ensure that training is relevant and aligned with market demands, ultimately fostering a skilled labor force that supports economic growth. This approach not only empowers youth by offering them viable career paths, but also address skill shortage in various industries, contributing to a more robust economy. This will give them the opportunity to get into high demand jobs and break the cycle of poverty. That's all for
Okay,
me.
thank you, Miss Aiman. I know the issue of economic disparity is not just confined to education or healthcare, but it also extends deeply into the workforce, where income inequality has become increasingly alarming. In many large corporations, such as CEOs and top executives, they earn salaries that are hundreds or even thousands of times greater than what average workers make, often receiving bonuses and also stock options and the other lucrative benefits. Meanwhile, employees at lower level face stagnant wages that barely keep up with rising cost of living. This growing wage gap not only creates social inequality, but it also weakens the economy as a whole. When the working class doesn't have enough disposable income, consumer spending will become the backbone of economic growth. As demand for goods and service falls, businesses struggle to maintain profits, leading to layoffs, reduced investment, or even closures. Closures. Closes. On the flip side, when reduced investment or on the flip side, when workers are paid for wages, they are empowered to spend more, which stimulate demands, support business growth, and also to create a positive economic cycle. However, the situation is made worse by disparities in education, which limit the opportunities available to children from low-income families. Without the access to quality education, these children struggle to develop their skills needed to compete for high-paying job. This will also further entrenching the cycle of poverty and lower wages. Meanwhile, those from wealthier families can afford better education, giving them a significant advantage in the job market and perpetuating inequality. This is why addressing both education inequality and income disparities is critical, not just for fairness, but also for the long-term health and stability of the economy. As a thriving middle class is essential to sustain growth.
Thank you, Mr. Syahir. Actually, we, the local government, have another solution that we are trying to do for the sake of the community here in Kota Baru, which is we would like to do some investment in the community resources. Because if we provide affordable education, accessible healthcare services, and financial literacy programs, we can actually give working class families the tools they need to improve in order to keep their financial stable and pursue better opportunities for them in the future. This will bridge the gap between the upper class and also the working class. And another solution that we need to consider is that the government investment in community resources is that government trying to step in to provide essential services like affordable affordable education, accessible healthcare, and financial literacy program, right? So this would go a long way in bridging the gap between the working class and the upper class. So as Ms. Aiman mentioned earlier, access to quality education is one of the most powerful ways to level the playing field. So right now, many working class families in Kota Baru can't even afford private education or even higher education for their children. So by investing in public schools, vocational training, and also making higher education more accessible and affordable, we can actually ensure that every children here in Kota Baru, regardless of their background, has the opportunity to succeed. Scholarships and financial aid also should be readily available, and we need to expand the programs that focus on skills development for jobs in high demand sectors. Education is actually the foundation for upward mobility, and without it, the working class will continue to face barriers in moving up the economic ladder. So, I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to convey.
Yes, we do.
Yes, by investing in community resources, we can reduce the disparities in access to essential services. When people have access to education and healthcare, they can focus on improving their skills and securing better jobs opportunities. This will help to level the playing field.
Okay, and from my point of view, the key to addressing the economic disparities lies in creating policies that promote fair wages. It is essential for the private sector to be encouraged or even required to pay wages that reflect the true cost of living. Many workers struggle because their wages are insufficient to cover basic necessities like housing, healthcare, and education. Fair pay ensure that individuals can not only meet their daily needs but also have disposable income to reinvest in the economy through consumer spending. This is will also help in increased purchasing power drives demand for goods and services, which in turn promotes business growth and job creation. Ultimately, fair wages foster a more equitable economic environment where everyone, not just those at the top, can share in the benefits of growth. It is about building a system where workers are valued and the economy becomes more sustainable, by balancing profits with social responsibility. That's all from.
Thank you, Ms. Syahir. So I would like to conclude that it is clear that addressing the economic disparities between the upper class and working class require a multifaceted approach. We need to focus on creating equitable opportunities through education, healthcare, and fair wages. Both the local government and the private sector will play our role play in this effort. So by doing so, we can empower individuals and families to break free from the cycle of poverty and help them build a more inclusive and sustainable economy here in Kota Baru.
I fully
Uh,
agree.
yeah.
It's, it is time we take concrete steps to ensure that everyone, regardless of their background, has the chance to improve their life and contribute to society.
I'm with you on that. I think we need to work together to make sure the solutions are implemented and that the policies are fully executed. Only then we can see a real change.
All right. Thank you, Miss Aiman and Mr. Syahir, for your valuable insights today. But I think that is all for now. I believe we have made some important points today. So let us continue to collaborate more and ensure that our policies will benefit all members of society, especially for the sake of the working class here in Kota Baru. So thank you for lending us your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss
So,
Hilwa. Thank you, Mr. Shahid.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye.
Bye.